Hi, I'm Will Weber. I want to take you through the syllabus here for this class. Um, so here we go. This is Math 142, Pre-Calc 2, prerequisite of Math 141, C or better in that class. I want to point out that although the prerequisite is C or better, I assume that you know everything from any previous math class. Um, there's a lot of things that we do in this life that is sort of a prerequisite of a C or better. I've also been an electrician, specialty lighting electrician, and an administrator for a general electrical contractor. To pass a test to be certified by the state to be the administrator, and I had to get a 70 or better on that test. I did, but then, you know, when you're out there in the field and doing electrical installations and the inspector comes and looks at it and he says, oh, well, you know, you got 70% of it right, so we'll pass you on this inspection. It's like, no, it doesn't work that way. You get one thing wrong, they say, no, do it again, fix it. It's got to be perfect. So yeah, you got into the class with a C, but know that you got to go back and learn the other stuff. I'll certainly help in learning the other stuff, but a C is not going to cut it. You got to keep getting to the point where you know everything. So we'll work on that. Anyway, you've already made it here to WAMAP because you're watching this video. Of course, you know that the course ID number is 9782 and the enrollment key is 142. I am Dr. William T. Weber. You can call me Will. That's what generally I go by. My office is in LDC, the Laidlaw Center building on the Whatcom Community College campus. I'm in room number 221, so upstairs, way down in the corner. Anyway, you're welcome to come to my office. Just because you're an online student doesn't mean you can't come talk to me face to face. I'm always happy to work with students in my office. You can also find me when I'm in my office. I try to be in my online office as well. The link is right here. It's this big long thing, but you can just click on the link and it'll take you there. Also on the course web page, there's a link right at the top in the announcements section to get to my online office quickly. If you think I should be in my online office and I'm not, give me a phone call. Is my phone number right here, 360-383-3566. If I'm in my office, I'll pick it up and you can say, hey, Will, you should be on your online office. I need some help. So, okay, I'll get on the online office and we can help there. There's a whiteboard there. There's a chat room. I have had students to just call me up and get help over the phone. It's not as good because you can't see anything that I'm writing. But if you're in the online office, then we can see what each other writes and such. So anyway, here's the link to the online office. I do have official office hours from noon to 1 each day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I'm in my office all morning. I have a 1:30 to 2:35 face-to-face class, so I'm here before then. So anyway, if you want to come see me, just stop by. The doors, if I'm in, knock, whatever. I'm more than happy to help. I have to have official hours posted, so those are the ones that I post. So anyway, email is a good way of getting in touch with me. wweber@whatcom.ctc.edu. Yeah, or you can use the messaging system within WAMAP. That works really well. The text that we're using is Pre-Calculus, Mathematics for Calculus, the 7th edition by Stewart, Redlin, and Watson. We will cover chapters 5, 6, 7, and 8, not necessarily in that order. We kind of start with I start with chapter 6 and switch in the middle back to chapter 5 for a little while, then kind of back up. 5 and 6 are two different approaches to the same material. Some people like to do it one way, some people like to do it the other, so the authors quite often give you two different chapters to work with. And so we sort of mix them up there, 5 and 6. Then we get to 7 and 8, and those come pretty much in order. The bulk of this course is trigonometry, and at the end we throw in some polar equations and parametric equations. Trigonometry is one of my favorite topics. I mean, I just use it all the time. It allows me to calculate very basic geometric calculations, angles and sides. And by the end of the course, you'll see it also allows me to draw really fantastic curves and things. So there's straight line, very angular stuff that you can do with trig, and there's some really fancy curves and graphs you can draw as well. So I use it all the time. Outcomes, these are the main things that the department thinks you're going to learn from this class. As you're studying for tests and things, it's not a bad list to look at to see what I might be emphasizing. Anyway, these are the basic things that you're going to learn. So, okay, I got to give you a grade. So, here we go. What's the grade going to be based on? There's homework, there's quizzes, there's a couple projects, there's 2 exams. And here we go. Homework actually is not part of your grade. Homework is just what it takes to get good at something. I mean, think about anything that you're really good at. Do you skateboard? Do you play an instrument? Do you paint? You know, what is it that you do really well? And think about the amount of time that you spend doing it. Anything, I don't care what it is, to get good at it, it takes time. It takes practice. And that's what I view homework as. I mean, there's 2 types of homework that you'll find within the WAMAP course page. There are built-in problem sets. They usually say practice problems. You can do them right there on WAMAP. It gives you instant feedback whether you're right or wrong. Sometimes it tells you wrong when you're really right because you've got 3 decimal places of accuracy and they wanted 4 decimal places of accuracy. You know, so you got to be a little, bear with WAMAP on that a little bit. Those problems you can do as many times as you want. Keep doing them until you get them right. If you have questions on those homeworks, then there's a discussion. Each week there's a discussion forum. I guess I'll talk about it down here that you can ask your questions on. I'll come to that in a minute here. But there's homework. There's homework assigned in the book. Here are each section. 2n plus 1 means the odd numbers. If n is an integer, 2 times n is even, and you add 1, it's odd. So 2n plus 1 is odd. It says a 4n plus 1 in here as well. Those would be every other odds. So these are the problems out of the book that I would assume that you would do if this were face-to-face class. These are the problems I'd ask you to do. So there's practice problems out of the book. There's practice problems built into the WAMAP page. Practice, do the problems, ask questions about them, help each other out, whatever. Ask me for help as well. So anyway, there's homework. It's not actually part of your grade. It's just what you have to do to get good. The discussions are part of your grade. So as I said, each week there is a discussion forum. They're for help on the homeworks. If you've got a question, post it to the forum. I answer questions on the forum. Other students answer questions on the forum. You may answer questions for other students. It's a great place. Helping someone else learn is a great way to learn yourself. That in order to organize a topic in your own mind, to be able to explain it to someone else, that takes a lot of learning, and it's a really good exercise. So please help each other out on this. If there's a question that sits there for a little bit of time without anyone answering, then I'm going to jump in and answer it. I want to make sure that people's questions get answered in a reasonably timely fashion. So anyway, each week I want you to do something substantial in the discussion forums. Substantial, what does that mean? Ask a question, that's substantial. Answer a question, that's substantial. Sometimes, you know, there's people have asked questions, they've already been answered. You might just say, hey, here's a problem I did. It's problem number whatever, and here's my solution for it. Great, you know, that's substantial. It might be that you, you know, found a website that has some good information on the topic. You say, hey, you know, I was at Wolfram Alpha or Wolfram Math World or Khan Academy or whatever. You know, I found these videos, I found this content that really was helpful to me, and post that, and that's substantial. But just saying, oh yeah, thanks, that was, you know, thanks for that answer, or yeah, I got that same question, that's not substantial. Do something that adds to the discussion. You'll find that these discussion forums actually are a great source of studying later, going back and looking at what people have said and answers and stuff. So um, please participate. It is 10% of your grade. Right. Um, I will, let's see, there's 12 discussions in the course. 12, I'm not sure that's the right number actually, but anyway, there's a bunch, one each week. Um, so there's probably 11. Oh, yeah, there is a 12th one, but that counts in the project. So anyway, there's 11. I'll change that number. Um, so there's also quizzes. Each week on, I think Wednesday of each week, a quiz will appear in that section in that week, towards down at the bottom of the block for that week. And you have until Sunday night at 11:59 WAMAP time. Okay, I don't care what your clock says. If WAMAP thinks it's 11:59, it's over. Okay, so up until Sunday night. So you got 4 or 5 days, whatever there is, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. 5 days. You can start, come back to it later. There's no time limit other than be done by Sunday at 11:59. Okay. Usually the questions are set up that you can answer. You can take 3 attempts at each question. If it's a true-false question, I'm not going to give you 3 attempts. You get 1 on that. But for the most part, they're not true-false, and you get 3 attempts on them. A correct answer on any one of the guesses is full credit. There's times when WAMAP will think that you're wrong because you didn't type it in quite right. Anyway, I always go back and check afterwards and see what WAMAP's grading has done and assign partial credit and such. So there's also, at the end of each quiz, there's a last question that doesn't count for any points, except that it's a place for you to submit a file. And what I ask you to do is, if there's any problems that you get wrong, take a picture of your work, put it in a Word document or something like that, and send me one file with all of the work that you've done for the problems you've got wrong. It helps me to assign partial credit. If all I see are your answers, then I don't know why you got them wrong. So each quiz at the bottom, there's that last question that you can submit a file that has your work on it, and that allows me to do partial credit better. Okay. I'm going to stop right here because I'm running out of time. YouTube videos, I'm allowed 15 minutes, and I'm at 13 right now. So I'm going to stop right here, and I'm going to pick it up on the next video. Stay tuned.